This is our London. And there's a new power growing. It's all of us, together. We're building a resistance, one recruit at a time.
Hey guys, today we will talk about Watch Dogs Legion, Ubisoft's third game of Watch Dogs series and the sequel to Watch Dogs 2. There is an open world where you can hack CCTV cameras and play with people's lives and smartphones. The game takes place in London. UK became a surveillance state and freedom is replaced with fear. Now it's solo riots, bombings, people are thrown in cages like animals, and there are killer robots everywhere. Personal liberties have been vastly limited, and citizens are constantly monitored in their activities by Albion, a private security company that acts as the city's law enforcement. Everyone from London has a reason to fight, and DeadSec hacker group is open to anyone. You can be whoever you want, because every hero in the game has its own background, strength, relationships and traits. But not a unique voice actor, as Ubisoft is using voice modulation. According to Hawking, the studio didn't want to record the script a bunch of times with different voice actors and then modulate it because it would have increased the game file size significantly. Instead, the studio went for voice modulation for Watch Dogs Legion. He added that with voice modulation, a single voice actor can be used for multiple characters and players wouldn't even know the difference. So going back to the Resistance. Naturally, someone needs to stand up to this injustice, and that someone is DeadSec by the way of you. By recruiting numerous people to your cause, you can create a team with the variety of skills and approaches required to bring this terrifying regime to its knees. Each of these characters can be recruited through a unique mission, though this depends on the standing with DeadSec. For example, a character who the hacker group helps out will be in favor of aiding them when asked and completing their recruitment mission, whereas a character whose family member was accidentally killed by a DeadSec member will not tolerate the group and likely refuse to join. If you want to save your DeadSec member, it is better to fight melee. In this way, you will get less attention from others and your enemies will not pull out guns and they will not start searching for you and use deadly force. That way, it will be easier to return to your secret mission. Blackmail person which you want to see in DeadSec can cause you worries, cause that person can kidnap your DeadSec team member or can join DeadSec enemies and get revenge. There are 3 classes for DeadSec agents: Enforcer, Infiltrator and Hacker. After recruiting a new citizen to join DeadSec, you can assign them one of 3 classes. They can all perform the same basic combat and stealth, though as we saw with Grandma Helen, physical attributes can affect their combat capability. As for what separates each class, it mostly comes down to extra perks. Enforcers are the combat-focused class. They can equip explosive rounds on their weapons and plant sticky mines. Infiltrators can also turn invisible. In this nightmare future London, it's now mandatory for every citizen to have their eyeballs wired up to augmented reality software. Infiltrators can hack the software and delete their image, rendering them invincible to everyone around them. You can even project the effect onto bodies to hide them from patrolling guards. Hackers are also stealthy, but prefer to let drones do the sneaking for them. They have access to the Spider drone that combines the low profile of Watch Dogs 2's drone with a mounted turret that lets it fight back. It can even perform melee takedowns. Watch Dogs Legion characters have permadeath. You can choose to be arrested the first time you go down. If you want to keep fighting, you can get backup, but dying after that seems to be permanent. So make sure the violence doesn't get too hot. The player will have the ability to navigate the city either by foot, using vehicles, or fast traveling via the city's underground stations. Unlike the previous games in the series, which focused on the use of a single protagonist to drive the story's narrative, Legion features the ability to control multiple characters within the game's settings. The game will also feature a cooperative player that will allow up to 4 players being able to working together. What are Watch Dogs Legion non-lethal options? Despite Legion's E3 2019 demo presentation being full of guns and murder, Watch Dogs Legion will have more non-lethal options than ever before. According to Ubisoft, at least half of the game's weapons are non-lethal. That's a big step up from Watch Dogs 2, where your only choices were a stun gun and paintball rifle. But can you complete Watch Dogs Legion without killing anyone? Similar to Watch Dogs 2, there will be moments in Legion where the game expects you to end a life. You can still use non-lethal weapons to take them down, but it'll basically treat this scenario as same as killing them. At E3 2019, Ubisoft announced that Watch Dogs Legion is releasing on March 6, 2020 for PC, Xbox One, PS4 and even Google Stadia. Now you can find pre-order in description and play Watch Dogs Legion 3 days earlier from release date. Join the resistance.